So it's about time we talk about the number one FC killer, at least for my gameplay. In this video, I'm going to go over the mechanics of hold notes from basic to more advanced patterning, as well as different techniques that might help you out with some annoying charts that are heavily filled with holds. Hopefully you'll be able to walk away from this video with one new piece of information about holds that you didn't know prior. But before we get into that, I just want to quickly introduce myself. Hi, my name's Jeff, or you can call me Law Loser. I love rhythm games, and my goal here on YouTube is to get you to love them too. So if you have an idea or topic for me to talk about, feel free to leave it in a comment down below. Alright, let's get back to the video. Project Sekai, or Colorful Stage, or what my friends like to call it, the Miku game, has three basic ways to interact with the notes, and that's tap, swipe, and holds. I've already done a video a while ago on swiping or flicks, and today I want to talk about holds. Usually indicated by a solid rectangle, 99% of holds start off with a tap note at the beginning and requires you to time it correctly and continue holding until the end, which is signified by another tap hold. This is a hold note in its most basic form. As you move up in difficulty, the holds will start to incorporate a bit of variation. Holds can start to take different shapes, they'll move around and bend, subtly or drastically, requiring you to follow along with your finger. The start and ends can be different notes as well. For example, if replaced with trace notes, indicated by a line with a triangle in the middle, all you need to do is make contact. No timing required and no lifting needed. Similarly, holds that don't have a note at the beginning or the end act the same way, where you don't need to time anything as long as your finger is at the right position. Holds can also have flicks requiring you to swipe when indicated to do so. Despite being called holds, it turns out you don't have to hold them all the time, at least during certain parts. There is a bit of leeway in case you misposition your fingers. You can actually temporarily let go of some holds. If you pay attention to the combo counter, the time in between the numbers going up is safe to release the holds, but it's pretty tricky to time it, so it's better off just trying your best to make contact the whole time. This mechanic is basically what lets you get away with some super stylized holds. Holds in Sekai are pretty funny since they only check if there's a finger in the right spot, and it can be any finger, not just the one that started the hold. For example, you can place down multiple fingers to cover an area, and the hold will still keep combo. This is called lane splashing. The hitbox for holds actually extends past what you can see. So for holds that move around the entire screen, they can be covered with only a few fingers. From my own gameplay, I noticed that my iPad can handle 8 simultaneous inputs, and probably can accept more than that. But honestly, 8 pretty much covers the entire screen anyways. I know on iPhones, it's limited to only 4 inputs. If you try to do any more, it starts to drop combo. As you start to move up in difficulty, you'll start seeing some cool hold tech like overlapping notes, where notes will start appearing in the middle of holds, requiring you to get creative with where you're positioning your fingers. After the 3rd anniversary update, Project Sekai introduced trace notes that only require you to make contact to keep combo. Some charts will group these together to make a pseudo hold, and on the surface it might seem easier than normal holds, but I've found myself sometimes lifting my finger a little too early, resulting in a miss. Since trace notes are either perfect or miss, the timing of them is slightly different than normal hold notes, so I have to constantly tell myself to hold on longer than I normally do. On and On Master 27 was notorious for this when I was trying to get the AP. On the trace notes alone, I probably had to restart at least 8 times. Some general advice for holds. I noticed that a lot of the times, for one reason or another, your fingers aren't going fast enough. Some holds need you to swipe your finger immediately after starting the hold, and most intermediate players don't realize that right away. And a personal issue of mine is that my fingers do get pretty sweaty easily, causing my fingers to stick, which makes holds or sliders more difficult when they require a lot of movement. Using a matte screen protector has helped negate a lot of the sticking, but I do occasionally play with touchscreen gloves. And I know a lot of players also play with finger sleeves that are pretty cheap on Amazon. Another thing to note is that depending on which note skin you use, the OG note skin makes a clear separation between adjacent hold notes, whereas the newer skin introduced when the 3rd anniversary update came out kind of blends them together. It doesn't make a difference for 90% of the charts, but occasionally you might get a miss if you aren't paying attention. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said in the beginning, holds are simple in theory. Girl, what are you eating? Hey. Like I said in the beginning, holds are simple in theory, but they're the #1 reason why I lose my full combo on so many songs. Hopefully you learned something new from this video, but if you didn't, did you know that hold notes are unaligned? The middle part actually sticks out on the side here, and it's not the same on the other side. And it doesn't matter which lane, it's still too much on the right side. It's a little less noticeable with the OG note skin, but this happens on the JP server as well, so I would assume it happens on all the servers. So if you never noticed it before, I hope you notice it all the time now. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.